Hello, hello! What's going on, guys? Go ahead and set this up a little more. A little later than usual, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright. Now, there we go. We back at it. So, do a nice little team review here, since everyone died last time. Not everyone, but we had 4 of our 6 members die. We almost lost the entire Nuzlocke. So, reviewing our team right here, we did have 2 survive. One of them was Gixie, who's our Sylveon, who is also currently training everybody right now. We have Smithy the Aron, who I can't wait to make an Aggron if he makes it that far. We have the F4E Phantom, our Remoraid. I don't know why either. Vexen, our Sandagast. Nice to have a ghost type. Noyan became a Golbat last stream. And then we have Pooh. So it's leveling people up, because we need to get to our 30s before we can even consider the gym. So we're back at it again. Hopefully... Oh, we're out of Draining Kiss and Swift. Oh, goodness me. Alright, Disarming Voice. So hopefully... Yeah, that should one-shot. Almost 10 levels above. Let me go... Okay, well, I was gonna go to the Pokemon Center to get my PP back, but... Well, hold on, I can just use the Pokevile. Yeah, why don't I just use the Pokevile, and then... I can just... let it be. We can just keep going. If anything, you know what? Let's just wait till a Disarming Voice runs out. It's Lola! Know what I'm doing today? Looking at the waves from the beach. Ah, the waves are so sparkly. The sea is prettiest from here. I'm getting hungry, so bye-bye. That's nice. Go ahead and just kill the cutie fly here. Hey, Smithy's 32. Wait. I'm so happy this is the first thing we see. This is the first thing we see on the stream. Give me my Leiron. Yes. Yes. Look at that boy. Look how perfect he is. Oh, if I can get an Aggronite this game, oh my god. Look at the stats, Jesus Christ. He has lower defense, but he's still at 91. That's really good. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that the level cap's gonna be like 35 or 40. Part of me is thinking it's gonna be 40. So what's been new going on since my last stream a few days ago? Well, I know later today, I'm actually going to be watching Naruto with my friend Taryn. They've never gone through, like, all of Naruto, so we're in Shippuden already. Because they watched the original Naruto on their own, but we're going through Shippuden now. We're on, like, episode, like, 160. One of the 6 paths... Spoilers for Naruto, if you haven't seen it. But one of the 6 paths just killed Kakashi. And they were incredibly sad. Kakashi is one of their favorite characters, so... It is what it is. But no, it was good. It's a lot of fun doing that. I like watch-alongs. I don't mind kind of waiting a while for, like, watching a series from beginning to end. Even if it's like 500 episodes like Shippuden is. We've made really good progress with already at 160. It's like the start is hard, but once you start just getting into the groove, it's really easy. I did finish Death Note again recently. I've been like watching that on my breaks at work. That's felt pretty good to do, just like finish the series. I mean, it's only like 52 episodes, but it's still such a good series. I would eventually like to read it someday. I hear the manga is really good. It uses Mellow and Nier a lot better than in the anime. Because like in the anime, they just kind of popped up, but in the manga, apparently they have more of a presence throughout the whole manga, besides just a pop up out of nowhere thing, you know? Oh, sick! Another Butterfree. That's lucky. They're the ones that are giving us the most. Oh, I didn't look at how many of that I had left. So let's just go to Smithy. Resisted your Psybeam. Rock Slide! Come on, Smithy, you got this. Hit him with the Rock Slide. Falling Rocks. I've been tempted to go and like I mean, I shouldn't even say rebuy, but I've been tempted to go and buy a N64. There's a lot of N64 games I kind of miss playing, and ones I actually want to play. I really want to play Quest 64. And like, I watched Pro Jared play it. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. I watched Pro Jared do his review on it. That kind of made me want to play it, weirdly enough. Mainly because the combat actually looks like something fun. And I honestly think it'd make for a really nice D&D campaign. Like, yeah, it is just the generic, oh, you need to gather the crystals of the elements and bring them together again. But I feel D&D needs to be simple. Or at least it can be and still be effective. I feel it can be the most effective when it's simple because it lets the players kind of craft everything. I did a long D&D rant in the last stream. I'll try not to do that again. But, yeah. Yeah, I think 35 is the limit. It's not 40. So now, because now Gixie ain't gaining a lot of XP. We'll know once we encounter a Butterfree again. Not just these flabebes. Oh, dog's mad about something. I've been thinking about like Yu-Gi-Oh a lot lately. Like that's really all my hobbies right now is it's gaming, it's Yu-Gi-Oh and tabletop gaming. What I haven't been thinking about lately, and I probably should again, is Warhammer and Age of Sigmar. 40k is always in my mind and in my heart. Like, it's hard not for it not to be because it's been with me for so long, and I genuinely love a lot of the lore in 40k. And like I showed you last time, I bought all those codices, whatever you want to say. I bought all of those because I want to have every codex. But I'll admit, like, buying those miniatures has not really been a priority for me. Even, you know, me and my brother had discussed doing a slow grow for our armies. You know, every month we'd buy and build something so that we could, you know, make something big of it. And this month and probably the month and like last month, I had no not desire, but I just had no reason to. I felt no reason to purchase it. I mean, like the hobby is fun too. Like especially right now, I've been really into painting the miniatures. But I think a big thing that's been kind of bugging me with 40K, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about this kind of stuff because it's a two-way street with this argument, but there's so much detail in 40K and Warhammer Fantasy miniatures, or Age of Sigmar miniatures, that I feel like my hands that haven't been properly trained shouldn't be painting these things. You know? Like, it just... I feel like it would look wrong. Because I'll even get, like, a miniature from my Hero Quest box that I'm still, like, toying with stuff with. This is a ghoul I made, and he looks horrendous. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to zoom in correctly, but, like... Focus, damn it. Look at this ghoul. Let me pull up the camera here. Oh. Yeah, this is the ghoul I made, and he's horrendous. But the way I always saw it was the fact that you knew what it was, right? It's not a matter of it being perfect. It's about you getting, oh, that's the ghoul. He's ghoul. There we go. And I think those kind of simpler miniatures are really cool and really fun to paint. I feel like I can get weird with them, you know? I don't know. It's such a double-edged sword, because I love a lot of the intricate detail that Games Workshop puts in their miniatures. There's no denying that. They can get a miniature looking phenomenal. There's no competition between, like, 3D prints and Warhammer prints. There's no competition between Games Workshop and a lot of other companies when it comes to how much detail they can fit on a miniature. But, like I said, at the same time, it feels like it almost feels like I'm not worthy to paint these things, because it's not going to look like it's gonna feel like I'm gonna feel like all that detail is gone. And they have solutions. That's one of the big reasons they came out with contrast paint, was to combat people feeling this way. And I've been using contrast paint for a bit. It's a neat thing. It's really a neat thing. My only real complaint, if you can even call it that, is that it's very runny, and like it drips down the miniature. And maybe that's because I'm using it wrong, but it's not like it came with instructions. Paint doesn't do that. You learn paint from painting. It's definitely it's fun. Painting is a lot of fun, and I want to have more fun with it. But I'm struggling in areas. I like simple miniatures. Even the new Hero Quest miniatures that are coming out, they have detail on them, but I don't feel they're as not overly complex, but they're not as complex as like a 40K or an Age of Sigmar miniature. I feel like I can handle this. With a little more time, I feel like I can handle that, you know? But that's just me. I watch people all the time, like Eons of Battle and Midwinter Minis paint these intricate minis all the time. It all comes down to preference. I am, however, excited, you know, in regards to detail. I talked about this last stream, but like the Dungeons and Dragons minis, I'm very excited to paint these because I feel like they're detailed, but I can mess up and it won't be that noticeable. I'm definitely taking a long time with this Beholder. I'm so excited to paint that. I'm gonna go off on a little story time here while I'm training up, but it definitely took me a lot of time to build any sort of small confidence to paint miniatures. That always felt like the one thing that was too far from me. You know, I played the games. I love the games, for the most part. I definitely think they took steps in the wrong direction, and despite me wanting to go back to old formats, it's just not going to be possible. But I do love these games, and I love these worlds, and I love their miniatures. And so, I remember one of the first things I tried painting were, if I remember correct, okay, my first ever army in Warhammer 40k was Tau. I played the Tau because I kind of identified with them as peacekeepers, in a sense. They followed the greater good. They weren't, you know, part of the Space Marines, which we already had a Space Marine player. They weren't chaos like my brother. They were this alien race that was new and exciting, had so far advanced technology and worldview. It's cool, at least in my opinion. Ooh, Silverwind's actually kind of bad. Oh, never mind. I loved all of that. And so I believe that some of the first minis I painted were two or three Tau Fire Warriors. I really loved Commander Farsight, and I wanted his army paint scheme with the red and the white and yellow. And so I painted up a couple Tau with that, and it was fine. The process took a long time, and a big thing with me is I'm kind of impatient when it comes to painting. I've learned a little more to become patient. But I'm not gonna say I don't struggle with it, because I'll slap some paint on and I'll have paint ready, like, okay, I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to keep this painting thing going. But I'm doing better. And I think I've gotten some decent paints done. When I jumped back into it, I had a lot of support from my buddy Box. And let me go grab him real quick. I started with kind of a more advanced painting technique, because I had a scheme I wanted to do for my Age of Sigmar army. So, I scheme and a theme. For my Age of Sigmar army, I wanted to do Beasts of Chaos. I liked that kind of old world lore, and when I tried to do cities, it was too complex, and I didn't like it. I liked Beasts because they were simple to understand. It reminded me a lot of why I loved the Necrons back in, like, 5th, 6th edition of Warhammer. Or, I'm sorry, 6th, 7th edition. 5th through 7th, I loved Necrons. But with Beasts of Chaos, I wanted to do a special theme, and one of the things we were going to do is we were going to make customized characters to lead our armies, and unfortunately Beasts of Chaos don't have a lot of customization options, so I decided to do like an allied demon prince that they wanted to make the next Chaos God. And so I said, you know what? Let's use the Balrog mini. I've always wanted this miniature. I love the Balrog for Lord of the Rings, and this mini's incredible. I love the look of it. So kind of got off track, but I wanted to get that kind of idea out of the way. So I wanted to use fire. You know, all their hair is like a fire color. And when I talked to my buddy Box about it, they said, he said, yeah, you should do that. That's cool. And I couldn't really find a good tutorial on fire before Box gave me the tools necessary. He talked me through it, and he sent me a good video on how to make fire. Ooh, hypnosis. Goodbye, Astonish. And the end result, I think, is pretty alright, in all honesty. Like, it's not incredible, but you can tell. I don't know if it's for farther away. This camera, I swear to God. You can kind of tell it is fire. Let me push the camera up again. So you can see it's nice. I think that I did the other side better with the rising color of flames and the ashes in the tip. It was really fun to do too. It definitely took a long time. It took me a lot of confidence boosting to do that, and I like doing it now. If I can make the time to paint, I want to paint. And like I said, I did find myself, I did enjoy painting the simpler models a little more. You definitely do get to see those miniatures come to life. And there's a sense of pride even doing a shitty job making them, you know? I'm proud of the work I put into these characters. I made a purple orc, and I love him to death. He doesn't have any sort of shading or extra detail. I put a base color on him with a nice shirt, and I said, done. That's an orc, a purple orc, and I love him. I use GW paints too, and that was another gatekeeping thing for me. Not by friends, but just in my own mind. I gate-kept things from my own mind. So one of the big things was I felt like I needed to use Citadel paint. Like, I needed to use this. I didn't understand acrylic paint, and I thought, okay, I need to use Citadel paint because it's really the only good one for painting miniatures. I was very wrong on that point because there's a lot of good ones. I've used basic acrylic paint before, and it worked out great. Like, I'm not talking like mega ultimate levels of detail, but that's never been my goal. My goal was to put paint to brush and put the brush on the miniature. And I like to think I very much succeeded in that. I almost have all of the orcs from my Hero Quest box painted, and then I'm going to work on the goblins once I can figure a good skin color thing for the goblins, because I don't want to use the same as the orcs. But the only other green I have isn't bright. I actually recently got a different green I'm going to try. And that's a good thing about these things, too, is one thing. I'm glad I'm getting the new Hero Quest box, which should be shipping soon. And part of me wants to just stream Hero Quest games because they're so fun. And they're actually changing the game a lot, too. I didn't expect them to do that. This isn't exactly a one-to-one creation. They're getting complex in traps, in these characters having extra attacks and wounds, and really pushing the envelope of what Hero Quest could have been. And I love that, because I love Hero Quest. I never got to play Advanced Hero Quest, but I would think that Advanced Hero Quest would do something similar. But yeah. I'm so happy I'm getting painting done. I'm happy I'm enjoying the hobby. If my buddies wanted to have a day where we sat down, painted, and built models together, I'd do it in a heartbeat. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Even the bigger models, which can be kind of a pain, it's fun to actually get that on there. I think my only real complaint is the fact that I'm trying to avoid aerosol can primer by using Vallejo's airbrush primer, which can be painted on very effectively. I tried looking up paint on primer, and there's just not enough. Airbrush still requires a mask, so it's like it's especially using the gray primer. The gray primer for Vallejo is so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh yes, F4E Phantom is evolving. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there, boys. You know what I just remembered? Remoraid doesn't evolve into Mantine. I'm still gonna keep his name as the F4E Phantom. Welcome, Octillery. You are absolutely learning Octazooka. It's a great move. Fires up a lump of ink to damage out and cut accuracy. 101% accuracy with 85 damage. Goodbye, Bubble Beam. I think Octillery is going to be a really good Pokemon to have. Take a look at our Octillery. Got suction cups, that's good. It's actually got a decent moveset here. Psybeam, Aurora Beam, and Octazooka. But in regards to painting again, because I want to get back to that. I haven't felt the motivation to either not only just buy more Warhammer, but to paint it. I have an entire box of Blood Bowl, and I really love Blood Bowl. I loved the video game so much I bought the physical box. Just because it was there as the second season edition. I don't have a single miniature built. I got really frustrated at building them, and I just stopped. And I should get back to that, because Blood Bowl is fun. Blood Bowl's a lot of fun. Let's see. Star Wars Legions is something I actually do want to eventually play. I do want to try Star Wars Legions, because I love Star Wars. I have no idea where my Empire that I bought, because I bought the Rebels Empire Darth Vader starter box. And I remember when we bought it, we ended up building a lot that day. Or building some. My brother was going to play droids, I was going to play Empire, because I freaking love Darth Vader. And my buddy Dave was going to play Republic, and my buddy Box was going to play Rebels, just so we'd have all four. I opened my box recently because I felt motivated to build them, and I could not find any of my Empire miniatures. And that made me say, I don't want to build Rebels. I didn't even want Rebels. So I said, screw it. I guess I'm not buying them. I have been also looking into buying miniatures that have nothing to do with games. Kind of sounds weird, but I found a website that, I mean, they made a game for it, and I might look at it. It's like Black Powder. And it's a historical war miniature game. Now that already sounds freaking awesome, but I've taken a lot of interest in stuff like the Civil War, the American Civil War, and I decided, you know what? I'd love to play a little miniature game of that. I want to build little Union guys. That sounds awesome. I can make a whole little, like, Union regiment. And they have, like, you can act out the battles that happen there. Or heck, get crazy, because I'm pretty sure they allow for, like, cross battles. Like, through the centuries, just because, why not get crazy with it? And if they don't allow it, I'll find a way to make it work. Or just make them really cool miniatures that I have in case I want to do something. Maybe I just want to make a cool display. I've talked with my girlfriend, too, about stuff for building and just getting into hobbying more. And I was kind of inspired by my buddy Box again. He was building a, like a... I don't know if this is the right word. He was building like a mural. He was building a mural, like a whole set piece, centerpiece. And watching him build terrain looked so fun. Just the whole process of it. Is it complicated? Probably. It looked like, while the steps were really easy, the concepts were the hard part. And if you can get the concepts down, it's just about getting the tools. But I feel like that could be so much fun, and I think that'd be such a good bonding exercise too. It's something I definitely will want to do with her if I get the opportunity to. She's much more into Dungeons and Dragons and Yu-Gi-Oh right now in terms of like things I've shared with her. So hopefully something fun will come out of that. I'd love to do something like that. Recently, like, I had the chance to kind of look at all my old 40k armies. Look at all my orcs. Look at all my chaos, and actually get the points out on the paper. And kind of see how many points I have of stuff. I have, like, 120 Gretchens from my orc army. Just because that was the funny thing I decided I want my orcs to be based on. I said, you know what would be so stupid if I just had a Gretchen army? They're not effective. They die very easily. But it's funny to see this massive green tide of Gretchens storm after you. That was a lot of fun to kind of go through all of that. I still have my Necrons downstairs. If we don't end up ever playing old format, I might get rid of them. I don't know, though. I do love old Necrons. I'm not a fan of what happened to them. They don't feel the same. I don't like the new, like, Cryptek-looking ones. I don't really care for, I actually very much dislike that they changed the monolith's design. I'm actually all for trying to keep as much as possible, and I love those old designs. But obviously, Necron's going a different direction. Game has to evolve. But, you know, I can still like what I like. What's the progress coming? I feel like Smithy is going to take the longest, so we're actually going to give these to... Let's give it to Pooh. Let someone else get the XP, get the large XP for a while. What else can I talk about? Sometimes when I don't, like, exactly know what to talk about, I just kind of look around the room, or look around my room, and I'm sure I'll find something. Oh boy. Hope everyone's doing alright today. It was a rough, weird day at work, let me tell you. We had a lot of returns. A lot of people returning Halloween candy. And, like, I never understood why you'd want to return the Halloween candy. Just eat the candy that you didn't use. Duh. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels weird that people would return that, but who am I to judge them? I don't know if I'm gonna stream my Shining Pearl game when it comes out on the 19th. I might end up just playing it a lot on my own. If you want me to stream it instead, let me know in the comments below. Can we get a like this video and stream if you want me to stream my the Pokemon Shining Pearl. God, I can't do that. I couldn't do that kind of thing to save my life. But you know what? That might be a fun way to get a conversation started. So I actually have a lot of my DS and Game Boy games that don't have cases in here. Maybe there's a game in here we can talk about. Let's see. There's not. So I'm gonna put that away before I drop more crap. I don't know. Is there other consoles I've been looking into? God. You know what? I will say this. For like the past few years, it's not been a strong urge, but there's been an urge to just get a Dreamcast. There's no real reason. I do want to play the original Soul Calibur. I do want to play the Sonic Adventure, the Sonic Adventure games on their original console and not just the remakes. I don't think there's a big difference between them, but I want to see. I don't know. Crazy Taxi is one of my favorite arcade games. It's on the Dreamcast. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Dreamcast, but like every year, at least one time that year, I just think to myself, dude, man, I should get a Dreamcast. For no real reason. I thought back about a lot of the old games that like Stepdad used to have, and just like the NES and Super Nintendo games all like scavenge through, or like when I tried to play them a lot. There aren't a lot of those older style games that like I can really like get into, you know? I think the only real NES game that I can play consistently for fun for hours on end is Punch-Out. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is magnifique. I couldn't get into Super Punch-Out. I have it on Virtual Console, and I think I actually might have the physical copy. But I couldn't get into it. I found the mechanics really boring. It's closer to the original arcade version, but I'm glad that when Punch-Out came for the Wii, they knew which one was more fun. Because Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, or just Punch-Out in general, it's so fun. But obviously Punch-Out Wii is GOAT. I could play Punch-Out Wii all the time. I remember at one point I streamed it on Facebook when I was still doing that. I streamed Punch-Out on Wii because I love that game. I get into it. Oh hey, Vexen's 28, nice. I get into it, I memorize a lot of the patterns on there. It made me want to make like a boxer character in D&D. Just because I love Punch-Out so much. Oh. No more draining kicks, now we're on Swift. Oh boy. Itch. So much itch. Yeah, this game is a lot more difficult than I predicted in terms of its gym battles. I'm happy for it. It makes me worried about the Elite Four if I can even make it to that. But it's cool. Like, if I can't make it to the Elite Four, I die at the Elite Four, I'm happy I even made it, if I'm being real. anytime I visit like a secondhand bookstore and they have like a lot of the board games, I'm always looking at them like I should buy this. I haven't played a board game in freaking forever. I have a bunch of board games I haven't even touched. And I bought them mainly because I was like, if I do play this, I would love to. I would love I'd love to play this sometime with somebody or some people. I love D&D. It's incredible, but I'd love to play some good old-fashioned board games again. I'm almost considering getting so at Target, it's like there's a smaller version of Gloomhaven called like Gloomhaven like Jaws of the Lion. I'm considering buying that because I think Gloomhaven, it looks really cool. It's like a way to play a role-playing game and have your choices matter without the complexity. I use air quotes with that. The complexity of D&D. Obviously, there's a whole different aspect to it. It's not a dice roller game, from what I understand. So that's a whole new concept that to consider. I think it uses like counters and deck building, which I'm all for that. I love card games. You know, it's also another good one that not enough people talk about. Sentinels of the Multiverse. God, the hours me and my brother have logged on the video game version of it on Steam is ridiculous. Because it has no right being as good as it is. It really has no right being so good. But it's so engaging and fun. I think the biggest aspect as to why it's so engaging and fun is because it's co-op. It's co-op, and to my knowledge, it's only co-op. And I love that. I love working together with my team. Working together with my team just makes everything better. You still act as an individual, but we can talk, we can find a way to beat this monster. I actually, if I could ever find it, I doubt I will, on Kickstarter, they actually launched a Kickstarter for a Monster Hunter World board game. I want to get my hands on that so bad. I love Monster Hunter. I can't wait for Sunburst. I still haven't finished Rise. But I love Monster Hunter. I can jump back on that at like any point in the future. And I'm gonna love it. I wasn't the biggest fan of World, but I still beat the game. I still farmed the crap out of the Zora Magdaros. I think that's what it was called. Oh god, I'm gonna feel really stupid if that's not what it's called. I farmed the crap out of the big mountain monster that you had to fire cannons at. I still loved Monster Hunter World. I just didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else did. I enjoy that classic Monster Hunter feel. And I feel Rise is like the best combination of the two. It's definitely more like World than traditional Monster Hunter, but it has enough traditional Monster Hunter for me to still be invested, you know? Although, you know, I thought about this, doing this for one of my paychecks, but I might wait it out. I'd love to, so one of the things me and my brother used to do is we'd go to GameStop and just specifically look for old games, stuff on like PlayStation 2, DS, Wii. We'd go old game hunting is what we called it. We never stopped by a retro shop, which is like literally the perfect place to go old game hunting. Oh hey, grassy terrain. That's cool. Oh, come on, Gixie. I need you to not be stunned right now. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Heal. Actually, I have the vial. Oh, hi, bud. You know, I didn't think that PSP games would be expensive nowadays. This is a console nobody played, you know? But I was in the market because I bought a PSP because I loved the console. I thought the PSP was great. Not the Vita so much, but definitely the original PSP. So I got a PSP. I actually have two. One was a hacked one and one's a legit one. I hate that hacked one because it broke on me. And I feel like it tries to break my games when I play it. But regardless, going off topic. I was in the market for those old Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force games. Some of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. I love them to death. I loved them so much, I downloaded the ISO files just so I can play them. However, I wanted the legitimate copy because nothing beats the feeling of playing it in the hand. Gixie. Oh, come on. Oh. Swift. Oh my god, why? What are the odds? Immobilized, immobilized, immobilized. Okay. I'm so mad. 3 times confusion? Get that out of here. Feather dance, huh? Okay. That's awesome. Let's see. Breakfast, what are you doing? Why are you being so stupid? Why are you dumb? How stupid this dog is. You're so stupid, bud. Hey, Smithy's level 35. Trying to learn Iron Tail. Is tail better than head? Actually, with how he is, with the, zoom lens, I'd probably go for Iron Tail over Iron Head. Alright. Oh, let's go heal Gixie, because he decided I want to get punched in the face 30 times by myself. Yeah, this is a grinding stream, no doubt in my mind. We're 42 minutes in, and not a single Pokemon, even the highest level, is at cap yet. And I kind of need them to be at cap. I've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last stream, but even so, I'm going to mention it again because I'm happy about it. I got a lot of Christmas shopping done already. Or at least the plans for the Christmas shopping and what I'm getting is the major component of that, you know? I'm happy I'm getting that done. Even planning is good to get done early. So I feel good, and who knows, maybe like a week before Christmas, I'll be done. At least, if I'm at least done with shopping before Christmas, I'll be satisfied. That would be perfect. Yay, Pooh's level 30! Yay, Pooh's evolving! Pooh Bear, become the final form I know you can be. Ursaring is such a cool Pokemon. I don't know. He's just a big bear. Trying to learn Hammer Arm. Hammer Arm or Brick Break? You know what? Let's go Hammer Arm, just because if I do feel like Hammer Arm's not working, I have Brick Break in the backup as a TM. I honestly can't. I actually need a... I've been thinking when I can make some more space of getting a wall-mounted TV. I want a wall-mounted TV because I'm tired of like almost knocking it over. I feel I can make space for it anywhere on the wall that I want. I don't know, I feel like that's what would be best for my current living situation. I'm actually not a big fan of enormous TVs. I like a big TV, but there are people out there getting like 100-inch TVs. And I'm just like, why do you need a TV this big? What home theater are you setting up? Gixie, hit him. Gixie. Alright, I'm running for this battle. I hate Oricorio. So, there's an idea I wanted to do like for Christmas. Oh, maybe 38's the limit. We'll need a tougher mod in order to determine that. But there's an idea I wanted to do as like a Christmas present or just a present in general, but I'm not gonna be able to do it for a while. So I might as well spill on what it is because I think it's such a cool concept. So there's an app that I found. It's only available for iPhones. It is 38. That's interesting, actually. There's an app only available for iPhones. And what it does is it uses the iPhone's very high technology cameras. I'm really bad with words right now, but I only got off work like a few hours ago, so cut me some slack. It uses their very high cameras in order to create a 3D image of your face. It 3D molds your face and head. You can do your full head as a 3D mold that can be 3D printed. And I've seen people 3D print their heads onto miniatures in 40K. And I'm like, oh my god, do I want to do that so bad for my friends. And myself. That would be so cool to see. It is 38. Okay, so 38 is the level cap, because we're only getting 1 XP now. That's good. That means that other guy is going to be getting all the XP. It's so cool, and I want to see it, like, in action, you know? I really want to see it in action and working. Yay, Phantom grew to 27. Noyan grew to 27. Trying to learn Poison Fang? Poison Fang's pretty nice, actually. I kind of like it more than... It's 10 less damage than Bite, though. Ah, but it's Stab, so it's better. And Pooh's level 31. Everyone's getting these levels. Get these hands, get these hands, get these hands. God, I miss my wrestling game sometimes, man. I want to get back on it and feel that creative to make my friends again. Even just to commentate again. I said in the last stream, that was some of the most fun I had streaming, was commentating those wrestling matches. I got to be as loud and as quirky as I wanted to be, and I felt so engaged with the match. And I feel like even if I had like a partner with me, commentating with me, even if they didn't talk as much, that would add so much. Wow. Well, yeah, 57 minutes, huh? We've been doing almost an hour of just straight up grinding. We have not made any progress, and we kind of can't. I need my guys to be level cap. Level 38 in order to make any progress. And I could have done this off screen. But why would I lose out on the content, you know? You might as well use it while you have it. It gives everyone something to watch, you know? Gives everyone something to watch and gives me something to do on stream. So I can mindlessly ramble about stupid stuff that doesn't matter. Oh, so let me spit this idea at you, my lovely viewers. With me, I wonder if I can dig it out here. Hold up. You actually have to dig it out here. There's a lot of stuff to move. It's not my order. Alright, this is it? Yeah, this is it. So, with me in this shoebox, I actually carry with me a lot of the monster cards. So the Dungeons and Dragons monster cards. And these are super helpful because it's basically like having a mobile monster manual with you. You know, I need the stats and abilities of a Lamia. One of the Sphinx ladies. Well, boom. Here you go. Here's all the stats and rules and everything. And I was curious to the idea. So, I think a lot of the problems I had with my old campaigns and everything is I feel like, except for one, I was not combat focused. I was so driven to tell a narrative, I completely forgot about the focus of Dungeons and Dragons. The combat. To the point where I don't think people were satisfied unless a good combat encounter happened. So, I thought back to the Monster Hunter campaign I did. I think, even for just as a small bit, I feel like the hunt they did was fun. They massacred that boy. Almost died in the process, but they massacred him with overwhelming damage. And I feel they felt satisfied with that, and they made they found a little pond and found little cool things here, and they named the area, which I personally love that they named the area. So my idea basically is, what if I sleeved up these cards, right? And for their next hunt, it's not a custom monster that hasn't really been tested, or I have to constantly look back on for special rules and things like that that might clash with something else in the campaign. What if I use those monster cards, you know? I said, oh, okay, here's what you're encountering. Turn the card face up. Maybe they choose between a easy, medium, and hard difficult hunt. And an easy hunt is one monster. A difficult medium is adamant. A intermediate hunt is 2, with an expert hunt being 3 monsters. You know, divide them up by challenge rating, or maybe make it all random. You know, maybe hunts are so unpredictable. It's an idea I had thought of. Curious of you guys' feedback on it, because I have these monster cards. I'd like to be able to use them more. And I feel that kind of random encounter deck would be pretty fun. Even if the random encounter is generated beforehand, before I start the session, I draw the card with it. And I say, okay, well, this is what they're fighting, this is the scenario they're in, and what this thing is doing. So I'm not so off the hip, you know? I actually have things planned. It's an idea. I think it'd be fun. I do really like in-person D&D. There is a lot of fun to be had with that. I definitely... I don't know. I saw the comments about modular tiles from the last video. Because you really do get a bigger customization with it. And I've already discussed it, but I think sometimes with my hunts, I do want a finely defined map. I was thinking about how to make a good physical map that feels alive. And I've seen people do something that I almost think is so weird, but it makes so much sense. So hear me out. Instead of spending money on miniatures that you paint, prime, and eventually change and die. Now hear me out. What if... I've seen this on like TikTok, and I've seen a couple D&D groups use it. What if you use the Legos? The little Lego characters, because you can... I've seen custom Lego minifigures, and they're good. Oh, they're really good. So imagine something like that, but for your D&D game. We know they sell fantasy stuff. We know they sell, you know, a quadrillion different kinds of bits that you can custom order. You could make a battle map of D&D Legos. At the very least, have a Lego base to move it on. And all of a sudden, you have a battle map that can be worked in person without having to draw defined lines on the map. I don't know. That seems kind of neat. And maybe that's just me. I thought the Lego idea was kind of neat. Maybe I'm also looking for an excuse to buy Legos. Legos are cool. But yeah, kind of curious what you guys think about the whole, like, card thing. I enjoy a fair number of randomness in my games, and going for a specific hunt would be nice if you're looking for the specific monster. But maybe you're just looking to get some money, or maybe the only way to discover a new monster is to discover in the hunt and get enough data on it. I don't know. A million possibilities, like I said. A million trillion possibilities. So me and my brother have been discussing, like, MMOs lately, because we've been big MMO fans for a long time. RuneScape, World of Warcraft. I mean, those were always the bigger ones that we played. But I remember for a while we tried out a crap ton. We'd go on websites specifically trying to look for other MMOs to play besides World of Warcraft. Just to try out all these other ones. And I thought about a lot, like, of the different MMOs we played and how many really stuck with us. A lot stuck with me. I kind of wish I could dedicate more time to a lot of them. I don't think I think World of Warcraft to me is the best MMO experience you can have, especially if you are new to the scene of MMORPGs. There's just enough there to warrant a great MMO experience, but there's also enough there to warrant your own single-player experience, which has been the dynamic that's been being pushed by players for a long time because, well, their friends can't always get on at the same time. So you need a good single-player experience on top of a good multiplayer experience. And you need both of those to be kind of required, you know? At least in my eyes. There are a couple I think do this kind of concept the best. I think World of Warcraft does this the absolute best in terms of single and multiplayer content. I think next in line is Wizard 101, being the most underrated MMOs in forever. The game is phenomenal, you guys are just mean. I did do something. I did do something because I got a little crazy conspiracy theory mind going. So, allow me to kind of warp your brain for a sec. So, I remember having a discussion with my brother a while ago about how Blizzard would need to do a World of StarCraft or another MMO in order to kind of get themselves out of the funk they're in and become a little more financially stable with it. Okay. So, what I did was I took King's Isle Entertainment, known for Wizard 101, and the still active and pretty thriving Pirates 101. Now, nobody talks about Pirates 101. I played Pirates 101. It's a fun game to me. But nobody talks about it. I have never heard a single person talk about Pirates 101. Ever in my life. Even when the commercials were out, it's always been Wizards 101. Right? So, what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to do math and determine the price per year per game of King's Isle Entertainment and their two franchises, right? So, okay, let me walk you through my process here. So, I went on a Google search. Not the most reliable source, but hear me out. There were roughly 12.5, or there were roughly like 20, I think it's 25 million players that are on Wizards 101. Now, that's not active players. I couldn't find the actual number for active players, but let's just assume they have 25 million players, right? For the sake of argument, half of those it's a free-to-play game, so it's going to get a lot more users on it, right? Okay, let's assume 50% of those players are subscribed, because it's got a very tempting subscription model with it being only $5 a month, right? Ooh, ring out. Is that a good move? I don't think it is. Higher the foe's HP, the more damage caused. Get that bullshit out of my face. I know math's not exciting for everyone, but it is to me, so you're gonna listen. So, 12.5 million players, because we're taking half the total, and we're talking about the subscription. That's $5 a month. We convert that over to 12.5 times 5. We get $62.5 million per month, right? Now we convert that over to a year, and we get around $750,000 a year alone. Or I'm sorry, $750 million. I can't count. So it's 12.5 million times $5 a month to get a total of 62.5 million per month. Multiply that by 12, they get $750 million a year alone from Wizards 101. Okay? Now, that's a lot of money considering most MMOs, according to insiders, in order to start a really good one, a startup is around $50 million to $100 million to make a really good MMO. To get a good backing for it. That's the average cost of the average initial cost of an MMO, right? Or a really good one like World of Warcraft. Let's assume it's $100 million. Now, if we were to go ahead and just say, okay, what if we cut it in half? We'll take the total amount per year for Wizards 101, cut it in half. Say that taking half of the Wizards 101 revenue to keep Pirates 101 afloat, because it also has a dedicated fan base, right? That still leaves $375 million a year per game. If the average initial cost to the game is $100 million, you still have around $275 million to upkeep the game. And that's per year, right? That is per year. King's Isle is not the biggest company, at least to my knowledge. So they do weekly updates with new stuff added. Now the stuff added may not be significant, but it's something. I feel like someone will get something out of it. Now, I went ahead and did the same kind of math for World of Warcraft. So like I said, Wizards 101 on estimate, because I guessed a lot of numbers in this scenario, makes a total of $750 million a year. World of Warcraft, okay, has a lower number of active players or of subscribed users. However, they charge triple what King's Isle does, right? So when I looked this up, again, used Google, and it's super reliable as always. They said that the average World of Warcraft total subscriber count was 5.5 million. Okay? 5.5 million, oh my god, that's way less than the 12.5 million of subscribed users to Wizards 101. Hold on a second. 5.5 million at $15 a month. Okay? You already surpassed Wizards 101's monthly income, because that would be $82.5 million a month. Now, I'll post trying to learn Rest. I can do Resto Chesto. Actually, I kind of like that more than... but Slash is Stab. I like Charm because it doubly lowers defense. Can I get rid of Cut? I can't. Okay, cool. I will not learn Snore. Okay. So we're at 82.5 million a month from 5.5 million subscribers in World of Warcraft, right? We'll do that by 12 to get the yearly amount. $990 million a year. If we split that as a cost and took that 990 million a year, split the cost between two MMOs, one MMO pays for the other, just like King's Isle did basically with Wizards 101, at least to my knowledge, my guess, you're at $495 million a year. We take $100 million out for the average cost. Maybe we take out $200 million. we're still left with 395 to 295 to 395 million dollars a year cost. That's nutty. And it completely changed my mind at the idea that Blizzard couldn't create another MMO. They could. They absolutely could create another MMO, and I hope they do. I hope they do make another MMO. Because I love World of Warcraft. I love Classic WoW a lot. But there's no denying... Oh. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. My family wanted to talk to me. Who'd have thought? Of course. How did that mess up? There we go. I don't even know what all my my ranting was about. It was about World of Warcraft. Saying I wouldn't mind another game. I think another game would be really fun. Hey, Vexen's level 30. Nice. I don't even know. I'm gonna guess like 36 for a Sandygast. I actually don't even know. What's some other things going on here? You guys remember like when Amiibo was like the craziest thing in the world? Like, I love like the Toys to Life idea. And I kind of wish they expanded on it. Ah, dang, it's empty. I kind of wish they like kept going with Toys to Life. I really didn't want Skylanders to end. And I felt like LEGO Dimensions had the right idea, but I almost wish they weren't Legos. Like, if these games could just mishmash, that'd be hilarious. LEGO was obviously the best way to do that, no doubt. There's so many LEGO franchises that all play the same in terms of gameplay. That'd be criminal not to mash them together. I don't know. I couldn't get into LEGO Dimensions, especially with the franchises released. I didn't feel nostalgia for it. I've never seen Ghostbusters, so they released the Ghostbusters one, and I'm like, I feel nothing. They did it for a lot of old properties, and I think that was like the downfall. I mean, they did also come at the tail end of the market being oversaturated with it. There's so many Toys to Life stuff. But Skylanders was really fun. I have a bucket of a bunch of Skylanders. I'm nowhere near have like a completionist method of it. I'd like to at least get all of the first gen Skylanders that I don't have, because they're so cool. Just being able to boop, and they're in the game. Do like a hardcore version of it or something, like permadeath. Permadeath Skylanders sounds like a really stupid idea, but I think it'd be funny. It's not the hardest game in the world, but crank the difficulty up and try not to get hit, and eventually it actually does get hard. You know? I've also never played Imaginators. By the time Imaginators came out, which needed to come out way before something like Superchargers. When Imaginators came out, it was at the actual death of Toys to Life, but it was the most innovative Skylanders game they had. I thought Swap Force was really cool because it lets you mix toys together, and it reflected that in the game. That was smart. Like, really smart in terms of marketing. Swap Force is really cool. I personally liked Giants a lot, but I love enormous, giant, heavy-hitting, bulky monsters. I love Kaiju. Just Kaiju. There's not enough Kaiju games. Like, I want a Destroy All Monsters game again, but either with another Godzilla Destroy All Monsters sort of deal, or Godzilla Saves the Earth, or I want just another Kaiju battler with original Kaiju. War of the Monsters was such a good... I want a sequel for that game so bad. War of the Monsters was awesome. I think I have it on my PS4. It was like a PS2 game that just... It was exactly like it's all original Kaiju, and it's a big monster battle. I feel that would be the best thing ever. Get multi-dimensional, like, just go nuts with it. Be like the Super Smash Brothers of giant monsters. Throw in the Balrog, throw in King Kong, throw in Godzilla, throw in Gamera, like, just go nuts with it. Throw in the Megazord for all I care. I just think it'd be nuts to do something crazy like that. Oh boy. Man, we are making zero progress in terms of the game right now. We're leveling up. We're almost at that level cap. Odds are, if I end the stream coming up here soon, because I do have to stop it at 9. Or I am gonna stop it at 9 in my time, so in about a half hour more. It would be nice. I don't know. I only came in here with a handful of topics, and I'm already out of topics. How do you talk on stream? I actually looked that up. It was really funny. I'm like, what do you talk about on stream? I don't even know anymore, man. Hey, Pooh's level 35. I will say that, like, grinding has always been, like, the kind of, like, the worst part about any Pokemon challenge. I know that a lot of people have been kind of avoiding it. I refuse to avoid it until I know I'm good enough. Like, I've had, like, especially with, like Pokemon Yellow, Nuzlocke. That one was rough because I died a lot in the wild area just trying to train my Pokemon. Like, I lost my Nidoqueen, I believe? Or no, it was my Nidoking. No, it wasn't Nidoking. I lost, I think it was my Nidoqueen right before the Elite Four while training her up. I think she got hit with a crit and then it was over. I was like, fuck. I don't know what to do. I really should invest in VR more. Just in, like, the games for it. I think that's the biggest reason I'm not on my VR headset enough, is I don't have the games to really call me back. I have really fun games on there. Stuff like Skyrim VR is awesome, and now that I have, like, even just a hook to kind of let my arms be a little more free while I'm playing, it's a lot of fun. And I gotta dedicate space to it, which hopefully that'll become easier once I can clean this place a little more, get a new computer desk and stuff like that. Get rid of this, what's it called? Mini fridge. I actually have a friend who's, like, interested in the mini fridge, so I might just give it to them. I'm not using it. It's just kind of sitting here. I used to use it when I drank a crap ton of soda, but I'm mainly I'm usually using the Soda Stream now. I'm either drinking that straight from the bottle or I'll pour it in a little cup. Which reminds me, I actually have to make some more of that. Am I the only one kind of ticked that they made a new Soda Stream model, which works the exact same way, except there's a new CO2 cartridge now? And it's more expensive? Like, what was wrong with your old model? Was the twisting action... So, basically, if you don't have a Soda Stream, the new Soda Stream model is called Quick Connect, right? So you have the old models, like I have, where you get a CO2 bottle, you put it in, twist it in, make sure it's locked in, close up the lid. Done. Easy. Not that hard. But with Quick Connect, oh, let me tell you, we had to come out with a whole new machine for this, because now you lift it up and lift it and put it down, and boom, you're done. Whole new machine now. We need a new bottle for it. We need a new machine for it. And it's kind of back and forth right now on whether the original model is actually going to stay or not. Also, is this Butterfree level 32? Holy crap. Hold on. Are the wild Pokemon leveling with me? That'd be terrifying if they were. I don't know how they code that into the game, but I'd be so sad. Smithy's level 36. Yay! Noin's level 29. Yes! Oh, this is gonna be so nice to have a Crobat. Crobat's such a good Pokemon. He's so busted. Welcome to the team, buddy. You are absolutely learning Cross Poison. 90 damage with high crit, goodbye Poison Fang. I don't need anything else. Got Inner Focus, that's nice. Your attack stat, like 62. It could be better, you know? But I'm not here to just complain. Even though that's mainly what I do on my streams. Sometimes I just need an outlet, you know? Let it all out. I've also been looking at prices for Pokemon Coliseum. Again, I mentioned this in the other stream, but I'm going to mention it again. $163 for Pokemon Coliseum. I almost downloaded just the ISO just so I can play Coliseum and Gales of Darkness. But it's not the same unless it's on a Wii or GameCube. Let's see. You know what? So I bought Ring Fit Adventure, right? It's a cool game. I did the first stage. I was exhausted after that workout. I'm gonna tell you what, I haven't touched that game since. Like, I have not thought about that game since. I had Fitness Boxing. I played that more. Granted, I played Fitness Boxing more when I didn't have a job. So I would just wake up, do Fitness Boxing, and then continue with my day. When I got Ring Fit Adventure, I was already working. It's not like I couldn't make time for it, either. I know I could. I probably should. But I walk around all day. Dang it, I just want to relax. I might also, depending on how long this lasts, and depending if, like, all of y'all still want to see it, I might end up doing a painting stream here and there. Whether I'm painting the Balrog, Hero Quest minis, or my Dungeons & Dragons minis. Because I go back to that, that used bookstore that I bought these D&D minis from. They have a couple pre-primed miniatures that they're selling for really cheap. It'd be nice to actually have like some faces and miniatures for stuff like that. While I do love online D&D, I will say there is that magic of in-person D&D. I did a little small session with the Rick and Morty Dungeons & Dragons adventure, because my girlfriend really likes Rick and Morty. She's never played D&D, she's never played a game like D&D. She hasn't played a lot of board games, but she was having a lot of fun with it. She killed a lot of goblins. She heard me do a lot of silly voices, as I love to do when I'm DMing. And I love that kind of magic of, like, the first session of you being kind of nervous and having a lot of fun with your friends. That's that kind of experience you want in D&D. It doesn't have to be a very involved storyline. It doesn't have to be this grand adventure. You could be a squad of city guards solving crimes in Dungeons and Dragons. You could be an adventuring party that has no alignment. Like, there's an endless possibility, and we need to promote that friendship aspect more. And I think you can still get that with online D&D. Especially if you do, like, face cams while you play. But it's not always there, you know? You kind of need that person to be there. If you're looking to just play Dungeons and Dragons, straight D&D, no BS in between, yeah, play online. It's good. It helps a lot with visualization of what you're trying to do. But if you're just trying to have some fun with friends, go wild. Go wild. Make things overpowered. Make your players overpowered. It makes them feel really good doing that. Like, give them an OP item. Give them an OP weapon. Make them feel invincible for a little bit. Let them swipe down 3 enemies at once, even though it's against the rules. Screw it. It's a game. It's a game in the end. Like all these other games out there, like I talked about earlier, I want to get Gloomhaven because that game looks like a lot of fun. I have a bunch of games. I have like a Godzilla Kaiju Wars game I've never touched. I love playing Villainous. I bought a... This is a weird buy. Let me show you. Gotta move some stuff real quick. Alright, but didn't mean to step on your foot. A lot of stuff here. Here. I bought a board game because it was like $10, still packaged in there, unopened, called Shadows of Normandy, and it's about. Let me read this for you. I'll never forget the people I met braving those angry skies. I remember well as the shadows fell, the light of hope in their eyes. You know the song. However, the course of the story is about to change radically. While the Allies were thinking they would only come across simple but formidable German soldiers, a new menace bursts forth from the heart of the woods. The fanatics of the Black Sun and their acolytes are preparing to unleash a demonic force on the battlefields of Normandy. Only a battalion of rangers and a handful of heroes stand against the demented magicians. Will you thwart the evil plan of the Reich's sorcerers? Or would you rather plunge humanity into an endless area of despair? When Arcton, Cthulhu meets Heroes of Normandy, the result is a wargame of explosive, unprecedented adventure. So Cthulhu just comes to Normandy? It's so stupid, but I bought it and I'm like, this is gonna be such a stupid fun game. I'm excited to play that eventually. Oh god. I want to start doing board game nights eventually in the future. There's so many fun board games out there. And they should be more than just pieces to talk about. You should sit down and play them too. Me and my mom had the idea of making our own board game too, or like a family version of a classic board game, like Family Clue. It's unique to us, and you know we get a 3D printer, and all of a sudden, we can make pieces for the board game, and it'd be a lot of fun. Even if it's not sold, I think just the fun of it is what's there. Yeah. There's a lot of cool board games. I still have like a bunch of board games I haven't touched in a long time, or just haven't touched. Here's another one. Key to the Kingdom. I actually don't even think I have all the parts for that game anymore. Whether I 3D print them or just buy a new copy of it is what I'll end up doing one way or the other. That game is a lot of fun. I played it a lot with my brother and his friends when they were very drunk. And it kind of made the experience better. You know, card battling games have always been kind of interesting to me. Not just trading card games, but like I talked about earlier, Sentinels of the Multiverse, or like, there's like a Marvel or DC combat card game. I think that might be interested to try out a little more. I saw one for like the Power Rangers battle card game. That sounds awesome. I love Power Rangers. Like, why I want to explore that a little more. Oh man. Yeah, this has been a stream. We've made 0 progress, and we've only been grinding. I actually think the world is leveling with us though, because yeah. We have one Pokemon at max level at 38. Pooh, he's about halfway there. Pooh Bear is halfway to max level. So you know what? Let's take away his EXP share, because he's almost there. We're gonna give it to Phantom. F4E Phantom. You know, I'll pass by like a board game, like the board game section of my store at Target. There's some really like interesting games there. I kind of wish I had as a kid. You know, I love Battleship. I think it's super fun, and it's just it's random. It's random, but it's also like your choice of randomness. If that makes sense. And I think it'd be super fun to get the space battleship, where it's all like it's 3-dimensional battleship. No sense, but it looks super fun. Like 3-dimensional battleship, who wouldn't want that? You know, I actually recently bought a couple of the Pandemic board games. They look fun. They really do, and it's a cooperative game. It's not one where you're against an opponent, you're against the game. I think those games work out the best for stuff like family game nights. Because, I mean, we're all competitive, let's be honest. We're all competitive, we don't like losing. However, if the game beats us, we're mad at the game and not each other. For the most part. We could, you know, that one person does something bad for the whole group, and all of a sudden the night's ruined. But I like those kinds of games. The World of Warcraft one. The World of Warcraft board game is something I wanted to play more and learn more about. Because I want to take one of my favorite franchises ever made and play it as a board game. A dice roller, completing quests in this thing. It's so cool. It's so cool. So freaking cool. Arthas, you taking a nap? Taking a nap already? And down she goes. Ah, boy. Yeah, I'm out of things to talk about. You want me to ramble about something weird? How about we talk about pizza chains? Because I can tell you what, there's one pizza chain that's moved so far up the rank for me. I have so much more respect for it. I used to think, like, you know, I thought, you know, with Pizza Hut, they had some of the best crust you could ever ask for. Because you had, like, you could customize the crust. They have the best stuffed crust to this day. There's no competition. They stuffed that piece of crap. You had Domino's, which had variety, and Domino's has sandwiches, and they have a really good chicken parm sandwich. There's Papa John's. And then is Little Caesars. Now, Little Caesars was $5 pizza. You might as well. And I tell you what. They won me over. They won me over completely. I think that Little Caesars is number 2 on the chopping block of best pizza. If not, number 1. I think Papa John's is the worst pizza place that you can go to. Now, I might have the wrong opinion, but I'm just gonna say that. Papa John's has the worst pizza. Probably didn't help that I worked there. Domino's, gotta be second. Domino's is second, Pizza Hut is third, and Papa John's is like 31st. But I had their, like, extra most bestest, I've had their deep dish, I've had their stuffed crust, and I didn't break my bank doing it, and it was pretty damn good pizza. I would have it again. And I don't think enough people talk about it when I ask them about their favorite pizza place. Because I guarantee you, they only think of the classic $5 pizza. And yeah, the classic $5 pizza ain't nothing to write home about. But pay $2 more at the $7 pizza, which is still less expensive. A large of that is still less expensive than a Papa John's, a Domino's, and Pizza Hut pizza. And it's something different. They did something else. The extra most bestest, they know exactly what they were doing. Fight me on those words, but it's true. But I cannot really stomach McDonald's anymore. I'll get it, and then, like, an hour later, I'm regretting every action that got me to that point. You know, I'm starting to get that with BK. I haven't had Taco Bell in a while, so it should be fine. I think just no matter what, I'm gonna get diarrhea with Taco Bell. That's par for the course at this point. Fast food really has... Either fast food's got junky, or I just got... My body just couldn't take it anymore. I think it's the latter. It's like, alright, you're done. You can't do this anymore, man. You're killing yourself. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but Burger King has really good onion rings. Alright, it's a little early, because I've been streaming for about an hour 50 instead of the 2 hours I normally stream. But, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little deflated that training has been taking this long and trying to level everyone up. So I'm gonna stop for now. I'll try to play some on my own and hopefully not kill anyone. But I will be ending the stream here. Thanks everyone for coming along. Thanks for letting me ramble. Peace.